Roma's suburb area of the Alban Hills is defined by the two volcanic lakes, Lago Albano, along whose southern rim is the Pope's summer residence Castelgandolfo, and Lago Nemi, with its namesake town on its rim nearby. We'll be visiting both of these places and more shortly. But first, an exclusive. You'll only see it here, nowhere else. The 10-acre estate of the late Anthony Quinn. It's situated halfway between the two lakes and a little south in the township of Aricia. Now, 10 acres in Europe is a whole big piece of property. But unless you know exactly how to get there, forget about it. There's no way. It's hidden. Anthony Quinn bought and changed it to be sort of Mexicanish. Massimo Cicciaroni and his wife Daniela took me there, as Daniela was Anthony Quinn's private secretary and now is in charge of restoration for the new Arab family owners.
You are entering what used to be the Anthony Quinn's property, and it's a very large place, a lot of land, many buildings. As you can see, you can see this is a Mexican style and under deep renovation. And they have been trying to bring the place as it was in the original. So here we are in front of what will become a billiard room and a party hall. And it's very nice inside. And we will go in now to see.
What is above?
Above is the guardian's house. And you can see the beautiful wooden beam, which has been replaced, and it's new, and it's typical. It's a work typical of this area.
The Madonna and Child in the wall at the guardian's front door? Somewhat odd, don't you think?
It's going to be billiard room or party hall for the summer, so people can sit outside, inside. And this is quite interesting because of these bowls, which are original brickworks. And once that all the mess will be taken out of here, it will be really a nice place. So this piece also is very interesting. You see the fireplace, which is done with this work of peperino stone, which is a typical stone of this area. It's actually lava stone. As you know, we are in a volcanic area here, and this lava stone is something really used in the area. This is the dining table of the main villa. And you know, it's here for restoration. They have to clean it and do some work. This is an antique table. And if you see the work, if you can see the work down there, these are called the liras. Yeah, the legs. You know, this wooden work is something that tells you.
A lot of work to be done.
Yeah. Something that they don't really do anymore.
If you had to estimate, how long do you think it will take to make the whole estate?
The whole state of this of the place here, of the property. Well, I think to finish completely everything, maybe another couple of years. So you are looking into the model for a sculpture that was then called the Reclining Woman. And this model was actually taken out of a trunk of a tree, of a very big olive tree.
That would have to be a very big olive
Yes, a very big. We have very big trees here in the property, very old. And you know, after a certain time, they die. 300, 400, 500 years, they die. And out of the trunk, he took out this model. that gave him, the opportunity to make then a sculpture in iron. This is another sculpture, and this is bronze work. It was done in 1982, and it's called The Lovers. You can see, it represents a nice couple embracing each other, and
Very solid.
symbol of love.
Solid love.
Yeah. This was a place where the horses came to drink on that fountain, you know. So this
The one over here.
yes, the one over there with the lion head.
You call it a Bernini fountain?
Yes,
Not because it was done by Bernini.
not because it was done by Bernini, but
His style.
it's his style, you know, Renaissance.
The centerpiece was added. The whole thing is typical of Italian gardens of a certain age. Then in the background there is another of his sculptures, the wind-blown woman. All I can say, it must have been a hell of a blow. The horse trough, Renaissance fountain, and statues are outside the living room. Turning my back on them, I have a fantastic view of the open parkland with several more antique statues, and in the distance, on a clear day, the blue horizon of the Tyrrhenian Sea. I'm at the corner of the building with the living room on my right and the master bedroom directly in front of me. The bedroom is large, though plain, but with a beautiful, restful view. Now that's what I call a living room, with a niche yet. I love how the tiles complement the vault bricks seen in the billiard room and elsewhere.
This is going to be the dining room, and the table that we have seen on the other side will come exactly here in the middle. So this is the studio, furnished with some cabins.
For all the paintwork, paints and accoutrements.
This is a wine cellar to keep, you see, to different temperatures, to keep the white wine and the red wine. Okay, this is a professional stove. Yeah. We have here a steam iron, a steam oven, dish, steam oven. This is to keep the plates warm. This is a coffee maker. This is another.
That's the automatic one, grinds the coffee.
Right.
You get channel 17 on a dark night.
Right. That's it. Okay, so this is an interesting piece. As you can see, this is a very little door, you know. Yeah. And this is Anthony Quinn while shooting a movie in Morocco. He was in Marrakesh and he visited Ouarzazate. He was visiting a museum. There was an interesting museum there, and this was the door of the museum. And he said, oh, this door is lovely. And the people there, they just took the door of the, of his place and just gave it to him. He said, this door is for you. And what did he do? He brought it here and he made something very nice. So when you enter the house, you can see, you hang your coat, and of course, you will want to know the story about this piece of wood. Anthony Quinn didn't build this house, he bought it.
Oh,
this is really, it was here already, yes.
Okay, so
it was here, so Madonna and Child.
It looks like St. Francis on one side.
Yes, that's right.
The other one would be.
And some angels on top, but
Yeah.
it looks like
I don't know how old
like a Northern Europe.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't
Yes.
look like Italian
No.
or something from Northern Europe.
Upstairs, this large bedroom with its sitting room and TV leads directly outdoors onto a terrace. The view straight ahead, like the living room down below, looks out on the Tyrrhenian Sea. Directly to the left, you can see a glimpse of the tennis court, and adjacent to it, the swimming pool. Opposite the pool and cabana is the finished, reclining lady, obviously sunbathing au naturale. A heated pool with Big Brother watching you, and the luxurious cabana. I could live there, you'll see. What a cabana! With a Murano glass chandelier given to Anthony Quinn as a present on one of his many marriages. It's plush and lush. It's just right for me. It's big enough for a large cocktail party. And then some.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
The Eye of Dante. Look,
Oh, that's...
this is something.
I tell you what, turn the lights out.
Uh-huh.
Or shut... No. Turn the... close the shutters.
Oh, yes.
That's what makes it...
Mm-hmm.
Now, there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I should have in my
Yeah.
house, right?
Ecco qua. This is the kitchen.
I'd like that as my kitchen. It's a very lovely kitchen.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Isn't it?
Mm. This is an old cupboard. L'acqua non c'è in fresca, c'è la Coca-Cola. Prendiamo una light.
Well, what do you think? A pool with a famous sculpture, a cabana with a Murano glass chandelier, a starlit ceiling in the bedroom, an intimate kitchen. I'd live there as guardian of the property for free. Wouldn't you? The Alban Hills area just south of Rome is full of surprises. We've just seen one of them, Anthony Quinn's estate. Now for another, Castelgandolfo, right on the rim of the volcanic Lake Albano. Castelgandolfo is the summer residence of the Pope. The castle itself was rebuilt by Pope Urban VIII in 1626. Though the addition of the Villa Barberini, you remember Urban VIII's family name, and the busy bees in his coat of arms in the Santa Maria Araceli, was added by Pope Pius XI in 1923. We'll see the little village of Castelgandolfo, though today it's spread out along the rim right to the lake's edge. Coming into the village, you pass the private papal entrance. Eintritt ist strikt verboten! Around the corner, you fall into this tiny piazza. It's like being in a little world, all of its own. No matter what you do, people will always talk. Hell, he's only doing an equipment check. On the far side of the piazza, every day is like Sunday after Mass. Everyone knows one another and stops to natter, even if it's only for a few seconds. It's a friendly sort of place. These three are going to the edge of the rim. Let's follow and get the view. It's all very peaceful and in a sense idyllic, the sort of place to come to and contemplate going into a trance. Now, but it's June, and it's Saturday morning, and it's hot as hell. So it must be another wedding day. Bridal party en route. Then get to your places early. Why? Well, just listen. Meantime, outside the church, Mrs. Bouquet's father patrols the streets watching for German parachutists. Don't worry, it's an inside joke. As Massimo would say, it's time to put a fork in it. It's lunchtime. The old Hotel Lucia beckons. It's plumb next to the papal entrance. I always fill up on pane e olio. It's so delicious. You can't beat the food here or the view. It's time to leave for Nemi, our next stop. Die Augen, links. Ein Blick auf die Natur. Die Augen, geradeaus, geradeaus. The second to last of our stops near Roma, Nemi, is like most of the medieval towns, we'd call them villages, sits high atop a hill overlooking its namesake lake. From the rose garden, on a clear day you can see forever, well, not quite. You can see the Tyrrhenian Sea, but not today. Heat haze. But you can see our last stop across the lake, Gensani di Roma. This insignificant place cultivates the ne plus ultra of all fruits, wild strawberries. For you plebeians or members of hoi polloi, the most succulent of all fruits, especially with ice cream. It's picturesque. I mean, it's really a one-horse town with a heart attack hill standard. I can't think of any reason to want to live here. If your house was afire, how long would it take for the only fire truck to get up the hill? The whole bloody village would be engulfed in flames and destroyed in a cloud of camel crap. Nonetheless, in spite of all of this, we walk slowly up the hill to the village's only main street. Massimo performed his ablutions in the village fountain, while I spent €5 for a small panier of wild strawberries. Massimo and Daniela would provide the ice cream for my stay with them before going on to Paestum tomorrow. But first, we must make our final stop yet at Gensani di Roma. Gensani di Roma is just another insignificant small Italian hill town. No way! It has a fantastic secret. I'll let you in on it in a moment. The Cesarini family have been lords of the manor of this town for many years, the most famous of which was Giuliano Sforza Cesarini, who built the Santa Maria church atop the town's hill, together with the Capuchin monastery. Since that time, Gensani has become an artist's colony. It all started 200 years ago, on the Saturday and Sunday, the week after the Feast of Corpus Christi. It's to celebrate Gensano's hospitality, great dry white wine, frascati, and beautiful scenery. The Infiorata is created and then destroyed. I was there to see it in all its finery. In 1778, two brothers, Arcangelo and Nicholas Liofredi, inspired artists to express their faith in a path of petals shaped into floral patterns of sacred paintings. These were replicas of paintings of Renaissance artists. Of course, here's the exception. It's called motherhood. While I was videoing it, an old woman living in an upstairs apartment called down to Massimo. "If he wants to get good pictures, have him come up here." I mounted a very steep set of 50 steps to her apartment, and she graciously allowed me to video from her tiny balcony. What a sight! This was all done by floral companies on the Friday night, ready for the thousands of visitors on the weekend. Afterward, I walked slowly up the street, stopping at each picture, boggle-eyed as to the work involved and the beauty of the completed sacred carpet. In 1875, Garibaldi refused to walk on it and is quoted as saying, "Divine things are not to be trod on." We were there early Sunday when it wasn't crowded, and the visitors browsed the art galleries, having visited the Infiorata. The visitors need to be entertained, of course. The tents in the background are those of the floral companies who set it all up, and have promo pieces for all to see. From the top looking down, it's another heart attack hill, at least for me. It really is beautifully done. Late Sunday afternoon, the town band plays on it. Then after, the local kids are allowed on it to destroy it till next year. Now it's off to paste